So friends, good afternoon. Today this one is the third class of, you see, class 1, not this one is the third class of concept of pedagogy, teaching, learning process and pedagogy. The main heading of the class is concept of pedagogy, and pedagogy you have come to know so much well that it means the science of teaching. So friends, for understanding science of teaching, we have to understand the process of teaching so much well, and the basic concern of the process, that is also to be understood by all the participant friends, so that we can successfully take part in the process of teaching. At the same time, for our training courses, we can become so much successful at the time of writing in the examination. Respected participant friends, this class is very much important for all the participant friends who are in the field of teaching. At the same time, this class is important for all the participant friends who are undergoing training courses, maybe B.Ed, maybe M.Phil, maybe M.Ed, maybe D.L.Ed, so and so. And before starting the class, basically this one is the third class actually, though it is written as class 1. Third class this one is. And the sub-theme means the unit title of the class is Teaching, Learning Process and Pedagogy. And we are to discuss about the principles and maxims, and basically we are to discuss about the principles of teaching. I express my sense of gratitude to all my respected teacher friends who are taking part or who are watching all the videos, all the honorable educational officers, all my well-wishers, all general participant friends, my technical support hands, for feedback and words of appreciation. And I must have to express my sense of gratitude to Google authority because for all the diagram and as well as for the photographs, I had to search Google, means I had to take the help of Google. Let us go back to the next slide. Participant friends, this is I am repeating, so please do this if you feel the urgency, or if you like to, you see, give your feedback to me just after watching the classes. Let us go back to the next slide. So friends, where I left in my last class, certainly you remember, I discussed so many important, you see, parts of important contents relating to teaching, as well as important contents relating to research. At the same time, the basic concept of pedagogy I discussed. Today, we are to start, friends. Teaching aims at the development of all the capabilities to apply them to face life in an orderly way. In our last class, if I correctly remember, I discussed concerning to the taxonomy or classification or categorization of Benjamin Bloom or B.S. Bloom concerning to human behavior or human personality, means cognitive domain of human behavior, then affective domain of human behavior, and psychomotor domain of human behavior. Concerning to all these three domains, we had thorough discussion, and these are the three domains with which so many qualities are there, and the prime concern of teaching is to help to develop all the concerning qualities of the learners or the participant friends or the students, so that they can become successful in developing their personality or personalities so as to face life challenges, at the same time to face the change time brought challenges towards the life fronts. Friends, success of teaching more or less depends on many factors, on the aspects. Among all such factors and aspects, the most important these are the most important areas. Basically, we cannot claim that I am quite successful in my teaching, though it is assessed or though it is done by most of the teachers. It should not be done, because success depends on so many things, and the parameters on which success of teaching basically depends we have to know so much well, because the prime concern of our teaching is help our learners, help the students to learn so much well, means so that they can get chance to develop all the capabilities and qualities relating to their three parameters of behavior, so that they become proper human asset or human resources for the change of economy or for the uplift of culture, at the same time for the growth of civilization. Thorough knowledge of subject matter has special importance for becoming successful in the field of teaching. Thorough knowledge means extensive knowledge of the subject matter, means of own subject has special importance. If you are teaching zoology, then you are to know zoology in extensive manner. At the same time, not only it is sufficient for you to sufficient, means the knowledge which you have acquired, that is not sufficient, but the development which has taken place in the field, that is also to be acquired by yourself, so that you can give something new, so that students become able to face life situations or life challenges according to the sense demand of time. So thorough knowledge extensive knowledge has special importance. Scientific knowledge of the teaching principles, methods, techniques, skills, and styles for disseminating knowledge to the students in a psychological and scientific manner. Friends, teaching is a science. At the same time, it is an art. As a science, it demands the application of scientific temperament in the field of teaching. Means it demands the application of all the systems, as well as means teacher is to follow all the principles, at the same time he is to follow all the orders. And thenceforth, as an art, teaching demands the emotional involvement of the teacher, so that emotional domain of the feeling domain of the students can be touched so much well, so that the feeling capabilities of the students become so much stronger. Friends, we are existing in this universe with the help of our feeling. If we do not have feeling, then we will be machines. And human beings are not machines. Human beings are human beings, and they are to feel so much well. And there should be justified feelings in human personality. If justification or logic is absent in feeling, then human personality cannot do anything good for the prosperity of human civilization or uplift of human lifestyles. To make teaching systematic, scientific and psychological, and help to make learning joyful, various principles are followed according to the level of education and psychophysical maturity level of the students. So friends, from primary level to university level, these things have special importance, and that's why we are to understand teaching so much well. And for understanding teaching, we must have to study pedagogy, because pedagogy means the science of teaching. If we do not know the science, or if we do not know the art of teaching, then we never can become successful. The approach which is to be followed, if you are the teachers of primary level, that approach or the same approach cannot be followed in higher level. The approach which is followed in, for teaching literature, that approach cannot be followed to teach history. The approach or the style which is to be applied in the field of teaching political science, that cannot be applied in the field of teaching economics. So friends, from situation to situation, and considering the age level of the learners, we have to change our styles, we have to change different principles, we have to change different approaches, as well as we have to follow different methods. Let us go back to the former slide. Some of the most general principles which may be followed by every teacher to teach various subjects, more or less in all levels of education, are as they given below. These are some of the most common, principles which are to be followed by every teacher to teach different categories or different age group of students. First one is analysis to synthesis. Second one is concrete to abstract. Third one is known to unknown. Fourth one is simple to complex. Fifth one is whole to parts. Sixth one is particular to general. Seventh one is definite to indefinite. And last one is, eighth one is empirical to rational. Friends, these are the principles. We are discussing about the principles of teaching. Analysis to synthesis. Analysis has special importance if you are in the field of research. Data analysis, we say. Data means piece of information relating to something. Data, this world is depending on data. We do not need anything else, simply we are to know or we are to get the data. Once we get the data, then we can achieve everything else. So data do have special importance, and data analysis has special significance, particularly whenever we are in, we are in quantitative research. Because in quantitative research, we are to analyze the data so that we can quantify the statements for getting result, for getting, for getting final statement or final analysis. So without analysis, we never can get the meaning of data. And then after we have to synthesize the data or the analysis. Concrete to abstract. We have to begin at the concrete point and go to the abstract point. Then known to unknown. We have to start at the known point. And that's why previous knowledge taste has special importance in classroom teaching. Going into or entering into the classroom situation, we directly do not start our class. We ask some question to the students. Hello students. In last class I did so and so, or we discussed so and so, and I like to put, do you remember this thing? Then students will give the reply, and then you will declare the day's class. Yes, well, you have well remembered everything else and you have understood so much well the contents which I taught in the last class. And today I am to discuss all these things just like this. So friends, known to unknown, this has special importance, means we have to begin at the known point and lead our students to the unknown point so that they can get chance to develop their knowledge. Simple to complex. Let us begin in the simple thing and then bring our students psychologically, systematically, scientifically to the complex ideas. Because we never can help our students develop complex ideas so much easily. Simple concepts are to be developed. Depending on the simple concept, we can help our students go to the complex parameter of knowledge. Whole to parts. This is one of the most important, principle of learning. There is a theory behind this. And behind all these principles, so many theories are there. Whole to part means once we are to develop the concept of man. Man does not mean this finger, this is not man. This is hand, not man. These are eyes, these are ears. These are, hair. This is face, this is belly, or so and so. But all these parts do as once we perceived as a whole, then man we say, train, aeroplane, like this, a building, big building, Brahmaputra river, whatever it may be, ocean, all these things as a whole concepts are there. Whole to parts, we have to go to whole first, man, then finger, then ears, eyes, nose, like this, we have to come back to the parts. Particular to general means we have to start at a particular point and go to the general. Definite to indefinite, empirical to rational. One by one after another, I will discuss in detailed manner so that you can have the idea of all the principles in proper manner and apply in the field of practical teaching so that you can become successful in the field of teaching by understanding the pedagogy of teaching and become successful in the field of research too. Let us go back to the next slide. First, let us count the term. Means we have to discuss today the first one, analysis to synthesis. Let us see the term. The term analysis is originated from the Greek term analyuin, which means unloose. Analysis very simply means a detailed examination of the elements or structure of something. In other sense, it means the separation of something into its component parts. On the other hand, the term synthesis is also originated from the Greek term synthesis. It means the combination of parts to form a connected whole. Suppose if you give a toy to a little child, the child destroys the toys, and then he or she tries to again assemble the parts to make or to go back to the original form. So friends, analysis has special importance. In the field of science, actually analysis, in the field of laboratory, in practical students, you understand your students, you see do practical. Why? They are to analyze different parts, and then after they are come to the deciding point, means come to the synthesize, they are to come to the synthesis parameter, because synthesization is not possible without analysis, and without analyzing we never come to conclusion, we never can take decision. Suppose there is, you see, conflict is going on between two great countries, India and China. We are to analyze different parameters, why things are changing there, why warlike situation is there, will there be war between the two nations? We are to analyze different factors, then thenceforth we are come to decision concluding remarks. So we are to, with the help of synthesis, we are to come to the concluding remark. Let us go back to the next slide. Analysis to synthesis is one of the most important principles of teaching. Analysis very simply means logical arrangement or separation into parts. Means it is logical arrangement or separation into parts. On the other hand, synthesis signifies the process of making a whole out of parts. In the principle of analysis to synthesis, a specific subject matter or an idea or information or a problem is separated, making different parts. So friends, we make fraction, and one part by part we make discussion. Suppose you are going to teach mathematics, you are to help your students understand the formula fast, and then after the application of the formula is to be you see help to understand by the students, so that they can forever remember the formula and they can get the practical experience, so that by applying the formula they can solve different mathematical problems. Let us go back to the next slide. The separated parts are systematically arranged to keep in proper order. Part by part, the subject matter or the idea or the information or the problem is systematically interpreted, and after interpretation, the separated parts are properly organized to make a whole or make integration among the parts. Friends, suppose if you are in operation theater, if you are a doctor, suppose, and you are going to operate a particular patient, and in such position you are to analyze all the aspects, and then you are go to the whole parameter, so that properly successfully you can make the operation successful, or you can operate the particular patient whom you are treating. Thenceforth, thus from the whole, different parts are separated, and after proper explanations of all the parts for the clarification of the ideas again, the parts are arranged to make the whole. Means we break and thenceforth we make. Means breaking is important for making. So friends, analysis, the first part is we are to break the ideas, we are to break the contents part by part, and then after we are to make. Means we are to give the concept so totally in totality as a whole, so that students can understand properly, students can understand scientifically, because once you break things and then you again make it, then students will get practical knowledge. So in classroom situation, for becoming so much practical in teaching, we are to depend on analysis to synthesis. In analysis part we break, in synthesis part, or with the help of the process of synthesis or synthesization, we make things, and the greater concept is being developed in the mindset of the students, and they, you see, coming back to their classroom situations, they apply their knowledge in the practical field. Let us go back to the next slide. This principle is generally applied in the field of science, geometry, geography, environmental science, medical science, drawing, grammar, language, psychology, etc. There should be one comma after language, psychology, etc. Yes. So where it is, this can be applied in the field of science, in the field of geometry, because part by part you are to help your students understand the concept. Then in geography also this principle is applied. In environmental science, this principle is applied. In medical science, I have already mentioned, this principle is applied. In drawing too, this principle is applied. In teaching grammar, this principle is applied. Suppose you are going to teach tense, so you are to mention the special parts of tense, thenceforth the application part you are to help your students understand. So friends, in analysis we break things, and in synthesis, with the help of the process of synthesization, we come to the whole concept, and the learning of the students become quite scientific. And that's why teachers are to know this principle so much well at the time of this, and apply this principle in proper manner in the classroom situation, so that they can become so much successful in their own area of teaching. Thenceforth, as for example, to teach about human behavior, we may explain the concept, categories, and different kinds of activities fall under each of the categories. After systematic explanation of each of the parts of the problem, a concrete concept or idea may be properly developed. So friends, for developing a proper idea, we are to break things, thenceforth part by part we are to discuss, and thenceforth with the help of the process of synthesization, we are to develop the greater concepts so that students can develop their concept in scientific manner. Let us go back to the next one. What is to be done here? What steps are to be followed? In the process of applying the principle of analysis to synthesis, these are the steps which are to be followed. A problem or an idea or a concept or information is taken as a whole first. A problem is taken, an idea is taken, or a concept is taken, information is accepted, and thenceforth as a whole. Thenceforth, the problem or the idea or the concept or the information is thoroughly studied, and a concept is formed as a whole. The whole concept is broken in different parts again, and then the parts are systematically arranged. Thenceforth, the systematically arranged parts are discussed one by one so as to clarify the ideas. Thenceforth, fifth, all parts are again integrated in one compact whole, and a greater and concise idea or concept is formed. Suppose you are working as a mechanic. For becoming a successful mechanic, the mechanic is to know the bicycle, your motorcycle is, some problem is there, you are taking the motorcycle to a mechanic. The mechanic is to, lose all the parts, take out all the parts one by one, and thenceforth he or she is to study the parts, and thenceforth again he or she is to assemble the things so that your problem becomes solved. So friends, in the process of applying the principle of analysis to synthesis, all these specific steps are to be followed. Let us go back to the next slide. Friends, this is so much important. These things are not so much clear. You will get again another diagram where things are so much clear. Bloom's taxonomy. I told you in our previous discussion, we discussed about Benjamin Bloom's categorization of human behavior. So Bloom categorized human behavior in three categories. One is cognitive behavior, another is the affective part of human behavior, and third one is psychomotor behavior. Means how we cognize the universe. Knowledge does not develop within a fraction of a second. How we cognize the universe, for cognizing the universe, so many capabilities or intellectual powers are there in our brain. So friends, first of all we cognize, then after we feel, and thenceforth we apply our cognition, means our understanding as well as our feeling in practical field, and with the help of such process we solve different problems of our life. So friends, here Bloom has suggested what is to be done. First create, thenceforth create a problem, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. How? First of all we are to create, thenceforth we are to evaluate, thenceforth we are to analyze, thenceforth we are to apply, thenceforth we are to understand. Once we apply, we become so much successful in understanding, and once we understand, it becomes so much easy to remember. And remembering, for how it is possible, we are to study memory, because memory very much, that's a simple term, because every time taking the mobile handset in your hand, you say that memory power is getting so much less, mobile memory power, so additional power should be there. So memory has special importance. With the help of memory, we remember things, past events, past matters, we bring back to in our mindset, and with the help of with the help of the process of memorization, we try to get back the ideas which are stored in our brain. So friends, these are the steps which are to be followed. Let us go back to the next slide. Create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. They are combining parts to make new whole. What is to be done? We are to combine parts to make new whole. Next step, judging the value of information or idea. We are to judge the value of the information or the idea which is going to be developed in our mind, or which we are trying to develop in the mindset of the students. Then breaking down information into component parts. We are to break down the information in component part by part. We are to keep, and that's what again, applying the facts, rules, concepts and ideas we are to do here in this apply, means in this step. Then in understanding step, what we do, understanding what the facts mean. We are to understand what do the facts mean. That's fourth, remember, recognizing and recalling facts. What we do, because for memory, three things do have important. One is, first we have to learn. Learning has special importance. Then we have to retain, means keep the picture in our mindset. Learning is the first step, retention is the second step, third step is the recognition. Learning, retention, recognition, and last one is memorization. Suppose after few years you have seen your friend. Hello, it seems that I do have recognize you somewhere else. I met you. I have forgotten your name. You say that way, means you remember. You learn that this picture is not so much clear, but just after having the company of the friend after 2, 3 or many years, then you will say, oh, I failed to remember, sir, but somewhere else I met you. Means learning is important. You do have learning because with that particular person you had the chance to have days or times, and henceforth after learning, retain the picture or image is being retained in your brain, and recognition from that picture. You are recognizing but not correctly. And then for memorizing, once you become successful in memorizing, it means that correct recognition is possible. Means in Calcutta or in Mumbai or in Chennai I met you, or in America I had this chance to spend a day or night with you, like that. So friends, remembering has special importance in the process of learning, and we are to help our students in all these special steps, and these are the activities which do have link with all these steps, which are specially categorized by Benjamin S. Bloom, the great American recent expert or teacher. Let us go back to the next slide. Evaluation, synthesis, analysis, application, comprehension and knowledge. So knowledge is not so much easily developed, friends. For developing knowledge, we are to do all these things cross all the 5 stages. First, we are to evaluate things. Then after, we are to synthesize things. Then after, we are to make analysis. Then after, we are to apply. Then after, comprehension will be there. And then sport concrete knowledge or absolute idea will be there in your mindset or in the mindset of the students. So friends, the learning of the students is very much systematic. Students do not learn in one jump. And that's why you are to understand the system of learning in so much well, so that you become so much successful in the field of teaching. Let us go back to the next one. Friends, original domain, new domain. These are new development. That was the original domain. Means evaluation and synthesis have been clubbed in creating. Creating is the new domain now. It was earlier evaluation and synthesis. Now again evaluating, means evaluation, evaluating, creating. These are cross connection. These do have cross connection. Analysis means analyzing. Applications mean applying. Comprehension means understanding. Knowledge means remembering. Now it is said as remembering. That was knowledge. Once knowledge is developed, we become so much successful in applying the concept, developed concept in the brain. So friends, teaching has special importance in the process of classroom contact with the students, and it is quite a scientific process. At the same time, it demands emotional involvement of the teachers so that students can develop their human capabilities or human values in proper manner for existing in this complex universe successfully, or for facing all the life challenges successfully, and they can establish their own identity as proper human being or real human individual or person. Let us go back to the next one. Friends, analysis and synthesis. these are not so much clear. Still, I have given you the diagram, and all other diagrams have already been shown. Let us go back. So friends, these are analysis to synthesis, what are to be done. This is the last diagram perhaps. Descriptive analysis, these are the spatial categories of analysis. What is to be done in the classroom situation if you are science teacher? Then descriptive analysis has special importance. Predictive analysis in science, prediction has special importance. But in the field of humanities, we do not make any prediction. So friends, in quantitative research, prediction has no place at all. But in scientific research, there is the special importance of prediction. We make prediction whether there will be storm, or whether will be cloudy, or whether there will be rain, like this. Predictive analysis is there. Then after prescriptive analysis, we prescribe prescriptive analysis. So descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis, these are three types of analysis which are to be applied in the classroom situation. And with the help of all these things, these are, you see, preemptive analysis is also has linkage with this, and here it is analysis that help in responding. So what and how, what and now what, so what and now what. And here analytics that help in recommending what is required to do more. And there you see analytics that help in anticipating, that is what is likely to happen in the future. And this prediction has special place in the field of scientific teaching, in the field of teaching of science, as well as in the field of scientific research. Prediction has special place. And descriptive analysis that help in understanding, that is what happened in the business, or what happened in the system, what happened in the situation. Then inquisitive analysis is also here. It has linkage. Analysis that help in comprehending, that is why is something happening in the business, why is something happening in the business. If you come back to science, had there not been Newton, we couldn't have the laws of gravitational pull. Before Newton, so many persons saw that apples are coming down from its throne to the ground level, but nobody started to think. But it was Newton who started to think why the apples are coming down and falling on the ground. And that was the source of Newton's research. And after successful researching, Newton becomes successful, in developing or in bringing to light the concept of gravitational pull. So friends, in the field of science and in the field of scientific exploration, in the process of scientific establishment of realities, analysis to synthesis has special importance, not only in the field of science but in social sciences too. This principle has special importance, and all teachers are to understand the importance or significance of the principle of analysis to synthesis. So today, and these things you are to keep in mind. You will see this slide. Descriptive analysis, what are the categories of analysis? Predictive analysis and prescriptive analysis. These are three types of analysis, and these are the activities. Information is there, insights are there, decision is there, action is there. So decision making power has special significance in life. Success and failure of life basically depends on decision making capabilities. And friends, decision making capabilities can be developed with the help of scientific teaching. And henceforth, action has importance, because now we are to take decision what will happen there between China and India. Because in Galwan what will happen we do not know, because action is to be taken after decision. And before decision, insights do have special importance, and for insight there is the necessity of information. Insight says there is a great, very much important theory of learning, that is we have to understand Gestalism, because without understanding Gestalism, Wertheimer, Kahler and Kafka, we never can understand insight. Had there not been insight with, if we go back to Kurukshetra, then we see with Vidur could speak what will happen, or Krishna could speak everything else with the help of insight what will happen. Means beforehand we can assess in our life too with the help of insight. Insight means purification of or purification of the level of experience. And that's why we are to follow the advice of the grown-up people, our superior people, because they are well experienced, and whenever they will advise you, it means that depending on their insight, means understanding of life, they will advise you what should be done, what should not be done. So as a teacher in the classroom situation, your prime duty, prime concern is to show the right path or the way to the students, and with the help of the process of analysis to synthesis, whatever may be the subject, we can help our students understand life realities, and we can help them become successful human resources. And thank you so much for this. And then after, in next class, I will discuss the other principles of teaching, so that you can get all information, or you can have composite or whole concept of the process of learning or the science of learning. Thank you so much.